Hello, good evening, everyone. I think it's about 2 a.m. in the night or this morning. Yes, it's 2:13 this morning, so I just woke up. I couldn't sleep and I've not gone live before, so I thought I should try it. I thought I should try going live and see how it works, and thank God I'm getting it. So, how is everybody there? Is anyone awake? Yeah. So, if you're joining me for the first time, you're welcome. My name is Bibi Strength, and it's been a long journey. Yes, this is my first time going live on YouTube, and I will be so happy if I can see someone join me. Yes, yes, it's a nice one. Um, I don't know since I don't know how to go about it, but now let me just try and then discuss and then talk about something. Well, I like talking about relationship, most especially, marriage, most especially marriage. It has always been my wish that we should have healthy marriages. Everybody should have a healthy marriage. But as it is now, marriage has not been an easy thing for so many people. Because a lot of marriages are breaking up every day. A lot of marriages are facing challenges, and I just think it stems from, I think it's even worse now in this new generation. I don't know. Because many young girls now, if you go on TikTok, when you, each time I attend relationship life, you hear a lot of people opting out of marriage. You see a lot of girls saying they're not interested in marriage, a lot of boys saying they're not interested in marriage. You see a lot of women looking for way to live. You're welcome. Please, if you're just joining me for the first time, please welcome. Welcome. I don't know how to go about this. Let me see if I have to rotate this to enable me see your chat. So sorry. Orientation. Okay. Is it locked? How do I go about it? This thing. Okay. So let me keep it this way. I can't see very well. I don't know. I don't know if my light is too bright. Let me take it up a bit better. I think it's better like this. Yes. So I've seen a lot of women, a lot of people. Okay. Yes. Hello. You're welcome. Thanks for joining. Yes. I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, please say I. If you can hear me, please say I. I'm new here. This is the first time I'm going live. I don't really know how it is done. All right. Okay. All right. Thanks. So, as I was saying earlier on, a lot of marriages are troubled. The men are blaming the women are blaming the men, and a lot of mothers, mothers in time past have started, in fact, started training their daughters not to live the kind of life they lived, not to tolerate some of the things they tolerated. and these young girls have grown into women. Nobody wants to be submissive, in quotes, as they always say it again. Everybody wants to be a boss lady, and everybody wants to. It's quite sad. It's quite sad. Being in the game for almost 27 years now, I won't say it's easy. It's not easy. Yes, it's not easy at all. I came across a video just a few minutes before I went live about a young guy that said the uncle came visiting, that he was in the kitchen doing the dishes. The wife was in the parlor attending to some stops on the computer. And then when the uncle came in, they had a knock on the door. The wife went to answer the door. Then the uncle came in. So he wanted to check on who the visitor was. So he came into the parlor with a towel trying to wipe his hand. He wasn't done actually. He wasn't done. He was doing the dishes, so he wasn't done. So when he came out and saw the uncle, he greeted the uncle, exchanged normal pleasantries, and then he went back to the kitchen. Ah, the uncle sat down and was looking at him. I was just trying to understand the energy in the house. So after he left, few minutes, he came out from the kitchen. After he was done, the wife also stood up, went to the kitchen to get refreshment for the uncle. Then when he was done with the dishes, he came out and met the uncle. So not up to 3 minutes or so, the wife stood up and told the husband that, okay, let me go and get one or two things down the street. I'll be back. And please, in case I delay and if it rains, the clothes outside, please help me to bring them inside. Then she left. So immediately she left, the uncle called the nephew. He said, come closer. What's going on here? What is going on? The man was really, really angry. He was really angry. He said it's a big disgrace. And before she left, the uncle saw the wife picking the car key. So definitely she was going with the car. So immediately she left, he was really angry and was scolding the nephew that, how can you do that? How can you, what will I say, stoop so low that, in fact, what are you doing in the kitchen? He said I was actually washing plates, doing the dishes. The husband said, God forbid that you want to be a disgrace to the family. How can you be doing dishes? What is she in this house for? In fact, you are the one spoiling her. How can you be doing dishes and your wife is in the parlor? And can you imagine the audacity? And she was stepping out. She told you to bring in the clothes if there are signs of rain. And you sheepishly accepted to that instruction. What's going on? What is happening? This is not ordinary. Can you imagine that? This is a beautiful home that is working perfectly well. And this uncle from nowhere came in and was just blasting the nephew just because the nephew is being an intentional husband, an intentional friend, an intentional lover, an intentional partner to the wife. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Marriage should not be one-sided. Shouldn't be one-sided. It should be um, it should be a partnership, because many men these days don't want to hear that. They believe when you say partnership, it means and there will be no head. There will be a head, definitely. But please, if you're just joining, thank you so much. I see two people. I'm really new in this life of a thing. I have not done it before. This is my first time. And please, I would like you to support me. I don't know how to go about it, but I'm trying to familiarize myself with all the tools and all the gadgets. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm trying to see where I can read how I can read comments, but I can't really get it. I can't really get it. Thank you so much for joining. You're all welcome. So this is the first time I'm joining. I've not actually done live before. Yes, thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning, Adele Wisdom. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. I've not done live before. This is my first time of going live on YouTube, so I'm trying to see how it goes. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, I'm very grateful. Good morning. Yes, I'm doing very well. Okay, you can hear me. Wow, I'm so glad you can hear me. Thank you so much. How are you doing? Where are you watching me from? Where are you watching me from? Okay, thank God, thank God. Wow, thank you so much. Wow, Imo State. Ah, that's very nice of you. Thank you so much. Well, I'm based there in Abuja. Favor, I see you. You're welcome. How are you tonight? Yes. Ah, I couldn't sleep this night. I said, let me try this life of a thing. And I can see it's going on well. Thank you so much. Please, can you hear me very well? I hope everybody can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, please say yes. Yes. Good. Thank God that you're doing good. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God. Ah, thank God. Thank God then. I thought I wasn't audible. Thank you. So how are you? Okay. Yes. So how are you today? You couldn't sleep or what? That you're up by this time. It's already 2:25. So I thought to try this life of a thing. Yes. And see how it goes. Do you have anything we could talk about? I actually started talking about relationship. I don't know if you heard me from the onset. Yes, especially marriage. Yes, being married for 27 years, and I'm trying to see if I can share, yes, my experience with the world. And I was talking about the story of a young man that just saw a few minutes before I came live that the uncle caught him doing dishes, and the uncle was angry and was blaming the guy that it seems as if he's spoiling the wife. So, as I was saying earlier on, the uncle was not happy. He was mad. He was angry. He was complaining that the guy wasn't man enough, that to be a real man, you have to be, I don't know, you just have to be bossy. You don't do house chores. You don't give your wife that comfort. You allow, what's it called? You allow you don't give your wife that comfort. You don't allow her to be free or comfortable in the house. You should always doing house chores and the rest. And if there's anybody that is supposed to relax, it should be you. I don't think that should be right. I don't think that is right in any home, because I'm in my late 40s now. I'm not a baby anymore. And I come from a family where I see men. In fact, I come from a family where we did not see division of labor, as in tax for women, tax for men. Whatever, whoever is available does whatever chores you meet. That's how we grew up. I grew up seeing my father cook for us, bathe us, wash our clothes, iron our uniform, and prepare us for school while my mom is in bed. Yes, that was the kind of home I grew up with. And I grew up in a family where I saw my siblings, my brothers. Hello, welcome. If you're just joining in, you're welcome. My name is Bibi Strength. Thanks for joining. All right. So I grew up in a family where my brothers do chores because they see my father do it. And I have not for one day seen my father raise his voice against my mom that, hey, where is my food? I'm sorry to say, I don't know. I don't know, because every family cannot be the same. But I come from a family where, to be very sincere, I don't know. I have not seen my father or my mother go into the kitchen, cook, arrange on the tray, and serve my father before. I've not seen it. I'm not saying it's wrong if you're from a family where it's a normal thing, because I do it to my husband now. But while growing up, I didn't see that. And the reason is that my father was more into us. My father was a chef all his life. Yes, he died 2 years ago at the age of 87. Yeah, he was a chef all his life. So I saw him more in charge in the kitchen, most especially when we were much younger, most especially when we were living in the quarters where he worked. Because I grew up seeing my father, or staying in the quarters where my father worked as a chef, while my mother leaves the house to work. So my mom was not always at home, it was always my father. So it was my father that was always at home, taking care of us, preparing us. My mother leaves very early for work. She leaves very early for work. I have not seen my mom prepare anybody for school before. I have never seen it. I don't know. But I have always seen my father. My father has always been the one, because my mother leaves much earlier because she has to trek a distance to cut costs. So she leaves very early. She's just comfortable. I know, not comfortable. I just don't know, but that was the life I grew up with. Yes, that was the life I grew up with. Yes, my father would wake us up in the morning, prepare us for school, send us off to school, then go back to work, because we were staying in the quarters. So my father's office was within our premises there, the compound we live. Yes, we were living in the quarters while he works for his boss. So, and then before my mom comes home, my father must have prepared, not necessarily him at times, but most times he, because we're fortunate to live. My father was fortunate to work with a boss that whatever the boss eats is what we also eat, because he brings, if maybe whatever is left, he brings it most times. So we're always having food, good food from his place of work. So there are some that whatever food maybe is left over there, he'll package it and put it in the freezer, using it to plan our meal for the day. So we're always having food. And anytime we cook at home, most times, the times I see my mom cook most times is on weekends, mostly on Saturdays and Sundays when she's at home. You see her making moi moi, cooking our delicacies and the rest. Those are the 2 days I actually, but Monday to Friday, no, my mom don't cook because of her busy schedule at work. Yes, and she comes back very tired most times. So my father makes sure that whatever food we're eating, we make sure we prepare what my mom will eat when she comes back. Put it in a cooler and preserve it for her, so that when she comes, she will have something to eat. She's always very tired. And then not until we packed out of that quarters, yes, we now packed out to where we rented apartment outside where my parents worked. So that was when my mother took over cooking. Yes, fully, because then now my father wasn't present again. And then we were much older. Yes. As at the period I said my father was waking us up, I was in the primary school. So by the time I was in primary school, so by the time we moved out of that place, I was already in secondary school. So when we were leaving, my father was away. He goes to work Monday to Friday. So you can see the table has changed. So they were working in partnership. When it was most convenient for my father to take up the responsibility of running the home, even though my mother was there, I have never seen my father see it as an offense to manage his children or take care of the home, or scold my mom that, now that you're back from work, where is the food? And you didn't prepare food for me, so I went to work. I have never witnessed it. And when the table turned, that we moved out of the quarters. We are now living where my father was not staying with us too because of work. Where we finally got accommodation, where we rented apartment, was too far from where my father was, because now we have become a bigger family because we have grown. So my father stays in his place of work Monday to Friday and comes over the weekend to see us. So my mother took over. Still, there was no problem. That doesn't mean they didn't have their challenges, but their quarrels or challenges did not come from a place of you are not how can a man be cooking, you did not serve me, or you did not do this. Yes, even when my father comes for weekend, we the adults, the children, we have grown. I was almost 13, 14. So I'll make, and my father is not even a heavy hitter. There are those ceremonies of putting plate on the tray. My father's life was just too simple. What he does is he even prefers tea, all those snacks. My father prefers granules, bread, tea, fruit. That is mostly what he likes. So whenever he comes around, even we, the children, are most times the people that serve my father. So I never saw my father see house chores as a big deal. And my brothers now that are all grown, married with the kids, they are doing same. Each time I visit their home, I'll just start laughing. In fact, we even joke about it. I'll be telling them, hey, this is Papa part 2. This is Papa part 3. Oh. I have 3 brothers. 2 are married. Yes, with children. So I will ask them, I say, hey, this is Papa. You see them hands on. You see my elder brother chasing his children up and down for homes, and the wife will be so relaxed. I was just seeing it play out. And I also was fortunate. I married a husband so that was hands-on. He loves cooking, but not really doing house chores. Yes, he loves cooking. So we're able to partner. He helps me to bathe the children when they were much younger. He helps me to bathe them in the morning. And if time permits, irons their uniform, prepares them for uniform for school while I do the cooking in the kitchen, their lunchbox. And yes, we were working in partnership. And that is what I think marriage should be. Whoever is available should do the chores. And there's something I want you to understand. Staying at home as a full-time housewife is the worst thing that can actually happen to a woman. It drains you. It can be very loving if you have domestic staff to help you and your husband have the funds, the money to take care of the home affairs, that you don't need to work. Yes, it's very okay. I have tested both, but it's the worst thing that can ever happen to any woman, being a full-time wife and you have a struggling husband. Wow, it will be terrible. It will even be more worse or more difficult because if you have tasted money before getting married and then ending up as a full-time housewife because of you started having children, or you move to a location where your husband is, you've not gotten a job, you don't have a business yet, and before you know it, children keep coming, and before you know, you're staying at home 5, 6, 7, 8 years at home, you'll be cut off from the world. Yes, you'll be cut off from the world. In fact, in my own case, it was so terrible because I married very quite early. I married very early. So by the time I was seeing money because I told you we moved from we moved from where we were to a place where, what's it called? To a place where we got an apartment. Yes. Well, before then, yes, I've always had this flair of making hair. Yes, I remember when we were growing up at age 6, 7, when they give us money to go and make our hair, my my immediate elder sister, she loves savings and she loves Christmas things, all this birthday stuff. She's really into it. So she devised a means. She forces me to make the hair anyhow, and then she saves her money. But me, on the other hand, I love beautiful hair. And not just that I love beautiful hair, I always feel pain. Yes, my hair is very soft. My scalp is very, very soft. So I tend to feel more pain when somebody that is not an expert is making my hair. So I always prefer somebody that is an expert to make my hair. Why? So that I know that that period I will endure the pain and then get my result at the end. So, but my sister, she doesn't know how to do, and at the same time, it will be paining me, and at the same time, I will not get the result I want. So, I always prefer going out to make my hair and pay the money. But my sister, she doesn't mind. She can endure the pain. I don't know if my hands were not painful. So I would twist the hair anyhow. She will carry that way but save her money. So that's how she does. So in that process, I started learning. Yes, I started learning how to make hair. Since I don't allow her to touch my hair because of the pain, she was not opportune to learn how to make hair. Me, I was ready to sacrifice my money, but to get a better result within a short period of time. But she, on the other hand, I wouldn't allow her. So I was able to learn how to make hair that period. So my cousins that were staying with us, and in fact, she became my little baby. I can change her hairstyle up to 5 times in a week. I've just finished one and now. Once an idea comes, I'll lose it. And she too, she enjoys it. So she will just keep her hair. That was how I perfected hair making. And then I now discovered that when I got to primary 4, I now discovered that I could even manage my hair, because I now thought, I say my sister, that my sister could, once it's Christmas time, as at that time, once it's festive period, I see my sister buying, excuse me, all the goodies. She buys new clothes, she spends, she has money to spend. So I now said no, I equally need to start saving. So what I did was I started twisting my hair myself anyhow I could. So I started making my hair myself. At age 4, then I was about 8 years old, primary 4. So that was how I perfected hair making. So when I got to secondary school and we moved from the quarters, we now moved to more or less like a slum. Yes, a ghetto. So we have a lot of people, because that's the first time we're mixing up with such. We have not lived in such an environment. And we had a lot of people to mix up with. So I had a neighbor that made hair, and she has this particular kind of hair she can make. And I know this particular, yes, all these cornrows and the rest, I know how to do it. But as she knows how to use thread, she's good at using thread to make hair. So immediately I got there, she's only good at using thread to make hair. So people come around and they will ask her, is it only thread you know how to make? You don't know how to make cornrows and the rest? So she will call me. She said, I have a daughter that knows how to make cornrows. So she calls me, I come around, and before you know it, I became so good at making this hair. So I actually was seeing money. And that particular period, things really changed. Things became very hard for us. Things were not how it was before. So I started making good money. I was making money all through my secondary school. In fact, there's a community that was living close to us then. They're from KB State. Yes, it started with just one person. It is Bibi the change, that is converting dollar into naira. Yes, they do this changing of dollars, money now, money changers. Yes, so Bibi the change. I think that's how they call them. So he started with just one person. The man came with his wife. Before you know, he came with the brother. The brother came with the wife. Before you know, it became a large community. And in fact, they were located in the same area. And then they don't allow their wives to come out to mix up with anybody. And this other auntie, this other neighbor of ours, I call her mommy too. She she speaks their language. I don't speak. So she was able to get close to them because we had them in our compound then. So she was able to get close to them. She speaks out. So she was able to introduce me into their community to be making hair for their daughters and their wives. And being a Muslim community, if their husbands should give them maybe 1,000 to make their hair, they believe the husband has tagged that money for hair. So they cannot use wisdom as, okay, let me use 200 to make the hair and save 800. No. So even if I make just 4 for them, they'll give me the whole 1,000. So that was how I was rocking it. I was seeing money massively at that age. At age 12, 13, I was making good money. And I don't know what savings was. All I knew I would save buy uniform, pay for my school fees and the rest, eat. I was really, in fact, I was not even eating at all. I had a cousin that stayed with us then. He knew all the women that sell food around. Any new one that comes up, she'll come and meet me. Hey, sis, this woman started though. It's as if her food will be sweet. I was always having money because I was always making here. And I became a hustler. Monday to Friday, I was always in the house. Once I come back from school, I will hang around. They call me, I'll go and make hair for them. Then weekends, I go to my uncle's place, help him. He has a restaurant. I was actually looking for anywhere I can work and make money. So I'll go to his restaurant. He will, I'll help him over the weekend. Then early in the morning from there, I will go to school. So he gives me money too. And then customers that come around, they give me tips too. So I was really seeing money. So I was based in another state. And then when marriage came immediately after secondary school, I moved. Yes, I moved. I moved to join my husband. So I was totally cut off from making money. So why am I telling this story? I'm giving this back story to further make you understand why I said full-time housewife is the worst thing that can happen to a woman, except if your husband is very, very comfortable, so financially buoyant to take care of the home front, take care of your needs, not just your basic needs, take care of your needs, and at the same time, you can save and take care of yourself very well. Then you can live that soft life. But if the opposite is the case, where your husband is a struggling young person, you're newly married and you're a full-time housewife and things are not easy and you have seen money before, oh, it's so terrible. That was the state I found myself. My husband was not financially buoyant enough to carry the home front. We had good food. Our money mostly was going for feeding, but other basic things like skincare, product, and because while I was growing up, I have older sisters that do girly things. So I have my own money. I buy cosmetics, I buy cream, I take care of myself, I do girly, make beautiful hair, and take care of myself. Yes. So money to my own level was nothing. But when I got married, I was not seeing that money. And we moved to a state where it wasn't a crowded place. It was a new city, and everywhere was kind of not populated. That's the key word. It wasn't populated then. Yes, not populated. In fact, before you could see one soul. Hey, and when I moved to that city, we were staying in the quarters. So the only people I could see was my husband's colleague. Yes, those were the only people I could really see. But neighbors outside then is except I go to the market, which was a bit far from where we stayed. So as time went on, it wasn't easy for me to cope because my husband's finances at that time could not take care of me. He could only provide he could only provide food, but not my basic needs. Yes, he couldn't provide my total care, but he could provide my basic needs. So I had to be a full-time housewife. It got to a point, I think 3, 4 months into it, it wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy for me to cope. So I had to look for a means. I had to go back into making hair. So then I was beginning to familiarize myself with the environment, get acquainted with the environment and how I can maneuver my way. So I had to get a soundboard. I put it at the door, at our gate to inform people that I make hair. I started making hair within our quarters there. Gradually, people got to know me. Even though the place was quiet, people started telling each other, there's somebody that makes hair here. There's somebody before you know, I started having customer. Yes, I was able to start. But still, it wasn't easy because along the line, I was having children. I was also struggling to go back to school. I was a full-time housewife at home, moving around. No, house chores is one terrible thing that doesn't have an end. And you feel exhausted. So whoever leaves you at home goes to work and come back and sees the house in the same state, would think you are lazy, you have not done anything. It's really frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. And I happen to be the sixth or seventh child in a family of seven, the sixth child, where I have older ones that do the major work. And we also had cousins that stayed with us to help. Yes. So we're not, and my father was really handsome. My father was just so intentional in taking care of us. We had helps that my mother brought from the village to stay with us. But my father, I hardly, and I took that from my father. That really helped. I, I, I don't know. I have not seen my father send the people my mother brought to stay with us concerning our care. I have never. Even concerning himself. They don't wash his clothes. He does them himself or he gives it out. And when it comes to our own care, he does it himself. He takes care of us himself. He feeds us, he cooks for us. So those other people were more or less part of the family. They were not, but at least my mom is relieved. She's relieved from sweeping she does just, if she wants to do her clean, is that general one that will have to pack everything. That one, everybody will be involved. All the children will be involved to pack things out, clean every nook and cranny. Yes, and she does that maybe once in a month because of her job and yes, her schedules too. So my father was really hands-on. So being a full-time housewife, in my own aspect, my husband really loves cooking. Yes, my husband loves cooking. It helps in that. That one is a big relief. Then I'll do the house chores, take care of the kids. But I have not always been that person that stays in one space. In as much as I I have things that keep me busy. I don't I easily get bored of repeating one particular thing. Yes, I didn't really enjoy staying at home. But and I had needs. I had needs. I had things I wanted that my husband couldn't afford at the time, that I had enjoyed before, that I enjoyed with the work of my hand. That and it got to a point in my life that I was finding it difficult to depend on people. Yes, I just knew that if I could work with my hand and get my money, why rely? So it was a really tug of war. I was really struggling because I really wanted to work. I really wanted to get something doing. But raising children without a help, oh, it was a big stress on me. So please, kudos to those women, those full-time women at home taking care of the home. It's not easy. If you're a young man, if you're a young husband, you're a young father, please, having a wife at home is very it can lead to mental breakdown. Yes, because one, if you're not careful, you won't be able to take care of yourself. Proper grooming may be lacking. All you want to do is take care of the house. If you're not even careful, you'll find out that your wife may not even be able to take her bath. You see how taking care of the house from morning till evening, especially if she has young children. Ah, please, 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 as a man, even if you are the provider, you have a job, please be involved in the life of your children, involved in the life of your wife. Help your wife to take care of the home front. It's exhausting. My sister, my brothers, it's exhausting. It's not easy to be a full-time housewife taking care of the home. It's not. Most especially when you have kids, young children. Oh, it's mentally draining. It is. It's mentally draining. So please help your woman, your wife in the home. And don't think you are helping. There's this lovely thing I learned from my father. My father didn't make it look as if he was helping my mother. My father took care of us as his responsibility. We were seeing it as it is now that I grew up that I started hearing, and my own home, so I started hearing a woman is to cook, a man is to provide, that is dividing the roles of running a home between the man and the woman. It's now that I got married and I'm matured that I got to know about all that. But while I was growing up, I being the sixth child, I think my mother would have done a lot while she had my older ones because we were down, down, down. Yes. So I'm the sixth child out of seven children. So at the time, I think my mother has paid her dues. Yes. I think she has paid her dues. So I met my father taking care of us. He was hands-on. He took care of us wholeheartedly. He loved us. So please, please. And I met my mom working. I was born at the time she was working. I heard earlier on she was into business and so blah blah until she was able to secure a job. So it's not easy. And there is something I want to tell you. Especially the men. Please, the only way you can get close to your children is not by paying school fees. So it's not by buying clothes for them. It's not, all those things are important too. But the most important thing that they will not forget is being intentional in their life, being fully involved in their life. Because my father reaped it too. Hey, all those ones I keep hearing stories that men suffer in their old age. My father didn't suffer it. Before he died, in fact, I was in a different state. My siblings, I had four siblings. I had five siblings that were in the same state with my father, my parents. When my father became sick because of old age and the rest, his kids were all over him. His grandchildren were all over him. They were moving him from my elder brother's place to my immediate elder sister's place. They were taking care of him. So my father died in love. He didn't even die in the hospital. He died peacefully at home. Yes. He just said he wanted to lie down. My sister said, okay, let me run down the street. Before he came out, my father was gone. So, men, please have relationship with your children. Don't allow your relatives, your in-laws, side chick, anything, any distraction to come in between you and your children. Don't love your children because of your wife. Love them because you believe they are yours. They are your kids. They are from your loins. Yes, they are yours. Don't love them because you are seeking validation. Yes, because if you love them, in fact, love them unconditional. I learned it from my father. Love your children unconditional. They are watching. They are watching. Children, hey, we so much loved our father. Our father had time for 7 of us. 7 children. And this man had time for each and every one of us. He saw each and every one of us as a hero. Everybody with our 7 different personality. The stubborn one, troublesome one, the fighter. I have never seen my father compare 2 of his children. I have never. He has always treated us individually the way we are. He has always cared for us individually. If I'm with my father at this moment, you will not see any of my siblings coming to interrupt our conversation. That, okay, this, no. We know Papa will find time for everybody. And once I see my father engage in a conversation with my siblings and them, except if it's something that needs our contribution, you don't come in to want to no. Papa will tell you, calm down. I'll have your time later. So we all grew up to know that our father loved us. He had time, and my father was very busy. In his place of work, he's thinking about us. In his place of anywhere he is, he's thinking about us. Whatever my father is doing, he's involving us. If my father was a billionaire like Dangote and the rest, my father would have fixed each and every one of us to run his business because my father is a chef, as I said earlier on. My father was a chef, he's late now. So while he was still working, active, as little as I was, 3, 4 years old, we were going to the kitchen to help my father. Because my father was working in an embassy as a chef. And then he was working with Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. They had this big kitchen. So when war broke out in Congo, yes, in Congo Republic, and they call it Zaire then. When they had their civil war, then when Mobutu Sese and whatever his name was in power, that war affected the smooth running of the embassy here in Nigeria. So they were really having problem managing their staff, including my father. So what they do is they will ask my father to go to the farms in Lagos then. My father will go and scout for edible cassava leaf. Yes, they will come in, they will pile them in bags. You see a pickup van will come with 50 bags and the rest. We'll wash. So my father is giving money to hire people to do this work. Yes. My father, if he's required to bring about 5 people that will help to do this, the preparation of this vegetable, because they use it for soup, my father will just employ 2. And then the remaining money is for the 3 of us, for we, his children. So my father will gather about 5 of us, then 5 of us, his children. Not even just 5 of us. In fact, all of us, including my cousins and everybody, my father will bring us, will help prepare the vegetable, package them, put them in the freezer, allow it to freeze. Once it's frozen, we'll now start pounding. So as little as I was then, 3, 4, 5 years, I go to the kitchen. Anyone I can pound, I pound. Any leaf I can pick, I follow and do. So we were always handsome. We were always around our father. We were always around him. If he's going for his local meeting, my mom will help prepare this, I don't know, peanut butter. Yes, they use it in eating cola nuts and garden egg. So my mom will prepare it. I am definitely the peanut butter bearer. I will help carry, follow my mom, my father. My father loves it each time. In fact, they were calling me his handbag. There is no way you will find my father that you will not find me. So my father was so much into us. He had time for all of us. And we loved him for that. My father would just suddenly appear in our school. We saw ourselves in the morning. He didn't tell me he was coming to my school. He would just, maybe he came around that neighborhood. He was, let me check on my daughter. And maybe just few minutes to close. He won't even wait to say, okay, let me pick. He would just see us, settle us, and we would go. Yes, my father would come around. Oh, my father was really handsome. He was really dedicated, committed. My father was an intentional father. And he reaped it in his old age. We have seen cases where men transfer their hatred, the hatred they have for their wives, to their children. You're not doing yourself any good, my brother. If you're in that situation, please, no matter how terrible your wife is, no matter how bad your wife is, don't transfer your hatred from your wife to your children. Love your children. And you can get your children to your own side when they are young. Don't wait until they are grown up. There is a proverb in our places that there's a proverb in our place that says, if you want to bend a wood, it is when it is still fresh that you can easily bend it. Because if you allow that wood to get dry, what will happen? It will break. So what we do is, what I would advise every young man, I'm not a baby, I'm almost 50, I'm in my late 40s, and I've been married for 27 years. And I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I have seen how my father was very intentional and how the thing helped him. So my intention now, my motto now, is to advise and educate young men. A lot of marriages are breaking up. We're having a lot of absentee fathers, except in cases when the mothers all abscond with the children. But before their mother can abscond with those kids, as the children, you see, if you know you cannot take care of a baby, a newborn baby, Eh, go and learn it. Go and learn it. And you want to be a father, please, if you want to be a good father, immediately your child is born, start bonding. Start bonding. You are not bonding for the mother. You are not bonding for anybody. You are bonding for yourself. Love those children. And now, knowledge is everywhere. Equip yourself with knowledge on how to raise kids. If you have bad character, that's being impatient. If you are not a patient person, you cannot take care of kids because children come in different form. Your first child cannot have the same character with your second child. The same method and hand you use in taking care of your training your first child may not be the same method you will. So what many people fail, they group their children together. And I learned this from my father. My father never grouped us together. He treated us individually. Even if we have conflicts within the children ourselves, maybe sibling rivalry or fight and the rest, you will see my father will just break the fight there and then make peace there. Then later, you still see him call you individually. So none of us felt that our daddy didn't love us. So what I'm trying to say is, don't sum up the training of your children together. You have 3 children. You put them together like soldiers. Oh yeah. No. Identify them because you will miss it. Some children need more attention while some need less. Some children need more grooming while some less. So if you keep comparing, that why are you stressing me? Why are you not like your sister? Your sister is more neater. Your brother is more, you are missing it. You are missing it. If you do that, you start creating resentment between the two of your children. Yes, you will start, don't allow your children notice. They won't let you know. I'm telling you from experience. Don't allow your children notice that you prefer one over them. No, you will be getting it all wrong if you do it that way. So what you will do is treat them individually. No matter how busy you are, no matter how busy you are, include your children in your business, in your schedule. Create time as you're in your place of work. Intentionally keep thinking about your kids. Think of better ways you can bond with them individually. Then before you can talk of collectively. I beg you. You may be in your 30s now, you think there is time. There is no time. Before you know it, you'll be in your 80s, 70s. I'm using my father as an example. I'm telling you the truth. And I'm using myself now as an example with children, adult children too. I have adult children. So I know what I am talking about. And I got this trick from my father. If my father was not an intentional father, my mother was too busy. And at a point in her life, she had her own challenges. But my father was able to cover for her. He made us not to really feel my mother's challenges or inefficiency at a particular time in our life. My mom is a great mom. She's a darling. Without her, I don't think my father wouldn't have been able to be who he is or who he was to us. But I know my father loved us. He loved us individually before he loved us as a group. So please, my advice to any young man out there, no matter how terrible your wife is, no matter how terrible the mother of your child is, don't ever, I repeat, don't ever transfer your hatred to that child. Don't ever start seeing some of the mother's character in that child and letting the child know. If you start early in bonding with that child, as early as day 1 of the child's birth, I'm telling you, you would have noticed certain things, and with love, you would have seeing ways of how to manage that child in love. And that child, no matter where you are, even if you finally, even if the parents, your parent, you and the wife finally separate, that child will never forget you. And no matter what the mother tells that child about you, that child will never forget you. Yes, because what keep resonating in the child's mind is about your love, your kindness, your patience, and the child inwardly will keep comparing you to his mother if you are even separated. And the child and your wife has a custody, or your wife or your baby mama, whatever the case may be, have custody of the children. The memory of the child will not remember school fees. The child may remember those gifts, but behind those gifts you give to that child, what is attached to it is that love, that emotional connection is greater. That is where so many men miss it. No matter how terrible your wife is, don't ever, I repeat, don't ever transfer the hatred to your child as a man. And vice versa. But I'm concentrating more on the men. Yes, because I know the benefit of having an intentional father. Yes, I'm talking about from from a perspective of someone that has enjoyed an intentional father, and how it has formed me to who I am today. Every child, be it a boy or a girl, needs an intentional father in their life. No matter how terrible your partner may be. So if you have a daughter that has an intentional father in her life, and she grows up to marry a man or a bad husband, the training you gave her as an intentional father will help her be a better mother, and she'll be able to handle situation better, a bad situation that will not affect her love for her children. In most cases, it's difficult for you to find a mother that hates the children, but there are cases where mothers hate their children just to get back at their husband, which is very wrong. No mother, no mother should hate the children just because the children love their father. Please, no ever, don't try it. You're not doing any good to that child. No matter, just as I said for the man, no matter how terrible your relationship is, be it a man and a woman, don't ever have it in your mind that you want to spoil your partner before your children. You as a woman, don't take it upon yourself to, I don't know how to say, to rubbish your husband, to belittle your husband before your children. As a man, don't also have it at the back of your mind that don't allow resentment that you have for your wife make you, at every opportunity, you are downgrading their mother, you are rubbishing their mother. It will come back to haunt you. I'm telling you, to come back to bite you. Please, no matter the differences between you and your husband, the challenges between you and your partner, don't ever allow it to degenerate to an extent that you want to poison the mind of your children against yourselves. Oh, instead, you guys are ruining that child's life. Yes, you guys are ruining that child's life. Let the children see, yes, okay, we have challenges. Yes, mommy and daddy are not agreeing. But yet, you can still be loving mother and loving father. You don't need to spoil your husband before the children just to get sympathy or love from your children. They are not blind. They are seeing. I'm talking from experience. My parents were not perfect. My parents were not perfect. In fact, my father, there was a time in my mother's life that things were really tough emotionally for her. She had a lot of emotional challenges that period. I didn't even know her as my mom. I just know her as one woman that comes. My mother was totally lost at a particular period in her life. It was short, thank God, for my father. just know that there is this woman that goes to work. She will just come quietly, enter the room, sit on the bed, and then we, the children, will start running. Where's mama's food? Where's mama? Hey, put this inside that blue cooler. You go and get water for mama. Bring water for mama to wash her hand to eat. We made soup today. We'll be telling her. I'll be seeing my elder ones telling my mother, Mama, we made granite soup. Oh, we made this soup. We'll serve her. She will eat there. We'll clear the table. Because the house we were was not big. So she's always sitting on her bed, the bed she sleeps on. So she will sit there, eat her food. Once the food goes down, she will just turn and lie and sleep till the next day. She had emotional challenges because she lost somebody so dear to her that period. So the thing affected her emotionally. My father stood in for her. My father did immediately weak. My father, shh, don't make noise. Your mommy is back from work. She needs to rest. My father was able to allow my mother to recover. Are you seeing it? In some cases, that is when the men will start shouting, I've done my best. I can't take it anymore. You don't even take care of these children. All you do is you go to work, come back. It is even me that will still cook the food, serve you. You eat and just lie down. The children will still pack the plate. And next thing you do, nothing you do for these children. I never for once hurt my father. Oh God, Father Lord. I don't know how God created my father. I never for once. Instead, you see him. He knows when my mom will be back. If he's free that period, you see him, he will run down before my mom comes back. If he knows he's going to be busy the period my mom will be at home from work, you will see him running down. Come, warm that soup. Oh, I hope people have arranged what you give mama. I'm going to be very busy. My boss is coming in with visitors, so I'll be very busy in the kitchen. So you people should serve your mother very, and you people should not make noise. Don't disturb her. You can imagine that. We saw it. There are times my mom, out of that anger, that frustration, she's harsh to us and the rest. My father made us not to hate her. I don't know if you understand. The love my father showers. There is even at times in the process, maybe my father is trying to show concern. My mom will just flare up, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if my father just understood that whatever action my mother was exhibiting was not from a place of hate, but from a place of helplessness. My father understood it. So what did he do? He stood in for my mother. He would try to calm the whole situation. So he made us not to really hunger for mother's love, because we're getting it in double from her. We're getting father's love, we're getting mother's love from my father. But we just have a figure of a mother. That it was for a short period of time. After some time, my mother recovered. Yes, she recovered and things became much better. So, but my father was able, in their old age, the first thing my father does is when he wakes up, you hear my mother, baby. He calls him baby in our language. Means it's one. What are you going to take? All right. Let me make. He won't even wait for my mother to reply, because my mom too like nyanga. She knows she's over pampered by my father. So at times the thing gets into her. She'll start doing bluffing and the rest. So my father will wake up first thing, just the way my father is able to serve his master in his place. So I told my father is a chef. He extended it to his wife. We, his children, that one is sure banker. We are the apple of his eyes. But to my mother wasn't always right, always perfect, always loving. But my father refused to allow that to affect him. I know it's not everybody that can tolerate that. I know some men will say, that's your mom. That's it. But I'm trying to tell you, yes, you may not be able to tolerate it, I agree, to an extent. But are you able to understand where she's coming from? Just as I told you, the backstory as to why my mother had those issues. She lost somebody dear to her. I don't want to really go into that. So the thing affected her mentally. Yes. So she withdrew. She was depressed. But my father stepped in. My father didn't allow that to do what? To affect his relationship with her and even us, the children. I remember seeing my father in his old age before he died. My mom died last year. My father died 2 years ago. You could see, just it's not just a year apart that my father died, my mother followed. She couldn't stay without my father because in their later years, their bond became inseparable. They still have their Tom and Jerry, this and that, though. But it's so funny that at the end, all of us would just burst out laughing. We were even looking forward to those their childish disagreements, just like two nursery school children, because of they were old. It was lovely to see and encouraging. Yes, marriage is not a bed of roses. It comes with challenges. So if you prepare your mind to be an intentional person, and then you have a partner, that is why, hey, before you marry, not in the olden days, not in our days that they do matchmaking. Now you have opportunity to do what? You have opportunity to court and do all that to get to know yourself. I think that courtship is not a time to be licking ice cream. I think courtship shouldn't be a period of visiting beautiful place and the rest. It's a period of discussing what your plan is for the marriage. It's a period of how you will make God your third party in the marriage. My parents were not born into, my parents were not over religious. My father was very religious than my mother. Yes, my father was a real Christian, a very prayerful man, prayer warrior, and the rest. Yes, but my father was able to cover for my mother. Is that selfless sacrifice, not looking for validation? My father never looked for validation from people. Yes, and I'm seeing that in the life of my brothers. And it's making their homes beautiful. I traveled recently with my elder brother. We went for a program. So we traveled out of, we came from different states and met. We went for my auntie's, one of my auntie's burial, my mother's younger sister. Yes, we went for her burial. And I came there. I went alone, and my husband and my brother came. All through the burial, the daughter won't allow this man to rest. Daddy, how are you? And where are you? And I could see my father and my brother, the way he responds to the daughter. I was just so happy. I was so happy. Even when I come around, even when my brothers are in my home, they come to visit me, they see the way I interact with my, what's it called? With my children. They say, Papa, yes. You could see the impact, the great impact my father's intentionality had on us. Even me as a woman. He taught me patience, loving without condition. I know many will say in this generation it cannot be possible. This Gen Z and whatever Gen Z. We still have beautiful marriage. You know it's bad report that sells more. Bad news that sells more. The good ones are there. I think out of maybe troubled marriages, maybe it's just 10%. But the way that 10% is selling, it's overshadowing the 90% that are working. There's still beautiful marriages out there. There's still a lot of beautiful marriages out there. So what me I want to just keep advising and keep advocating is men, boys, be intentional in the life of your children. Don't look at your wife. We have seen broken homes. But because the man was intentional in the life of his children, he reaped it in his old age. He reaped it in his old age. I have a relative now, not a relative. What will I say? It's not a relative. It's an in-law's husband. One of my in-laws' husband. Yes. Old man. Should be over 90 now. but very strong. The man is very strong because my father is late now, and I think he's much older than my father. Not much, maybe 5 years difference or so. So the man should be in his late 90s. Yes, but my father is late and he's still alive. He had 5 daughters and just one son. What happened? They just abandoned him. Immediately their mother died. That's the wife, the mother of these children, their mother died. They just bundled him and dumped him in the village. But because we used to know this man, oh, that's what I'm telling you, that it's not what you give to children, it's that emotional connection you have with children, be it your biological or any other child, that child will remember before the child will now remember the gift and whatever thing you do. That 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 security, that trust that child has for you is a selling point for any human being. So now, that man that is being abandoned in the village, do you know that his children don't travel to the village to see him? He's just abandoned in an empty house. There was even a time the mud house he was in collapsed on him and almost killed him. None of his children, I'm talking about adult children, children with kids, grown kids, or grandchildren, nobody visits him. But this man is a nice man. Because we have some men that are very nice outside. They are angels outside. But they are terrorists in the house. So I don't know his relationship with his children. But each time I travel to the village with my siblings, most especially when we went to bury our father, when we went to bury our mother, we paid this man a visit. And why did we? We paid him, and each time we visit him, you see him crying. Crying that, oh, it is we that are not even his children that are giving him a sense of belonging. We come around, we give to take care of him. Why? We remember back then when we were little. In the 80s, he once worked as a security. My father gave him a part-time security job in his establishment where my father was working. So the man, each time he comes in the evening, he's such a great storyteller, very loving, likable person. So we always hang around him. You see us flocking. We always time ourselves that, then we don't have internet and the rest. So it was more of a communal living. The man was very patient, loving to us. So we loved him so much. So when I grew up and I was marrying into that family, because I got married to, my husband is the step brother to the wife. It made it easier because of that connection we had with the man. We loved the man so much, so intelligent, up to date. So we loved him so much. So when we got to, each time we travel to the village, we go there to see him. I don't know, but we look at our father. There is no way we can abandon that man. So it baffles us that his own children, not even one. He has 5 daughters, one son. People cry for daughters, most especially for old age, that okay, when I'm old, my daughter will take care of me, and girls tend to take care of their parents. But in this case, no. Do you know the irony of the whole thing? Do you know who took care of this man? It was even the stepson, because the wife had a son before he married him. So it was even the stepson, which was the first son of his wife, before the wife had 6 other children, 1 boy and 5 girls for him. So it was even the stepson that was taking care of him. It was the stepson that rented an apartment for him and the mom. After the mom died, the father continued. They even gave the stepfather money to run small business. But when his sight was failing him and he got married, the expenses became too much. He couldn't pay for 2 homes. He couldn't pay. And the man's first son and daughters were useless. Sorry to say, we're not living up to expectation. So the stepson had no choice. Since they had a family house there, he bundled him, took him to the village, thinking that the man is old, that he may not even last long. The man has lived now 16 years after the death of his wife. So even if he was still back in the city, I don't know, maybe we still would have lived long. But they moved him back to the village. And there he stayed. And he's still alive as I speak to you. Still very strong. The only thing lacking there is his kids don't visit him. And each time we visit him, he cries like a baby. So I don't know the relationship he had. Because I know in my wildest dream, no matter how terrible your children are, at least one should be able to connect with you. One should be able to have that soft spot for you. So we don't know how a father he was when he was much younger. We don't know. But we know him as a nice man. To us, he was kind, he buys us snacks, but he was a good storyteller. Excuse me, even at this old age, each time we visit him more because we're looking forward to it, and he's good at, he's always ready to tell you stories. Once you sit with him, oh, Papa Wolf for Baby, that's his guy name. He will tell you stories, share stories with you. Oh my God, give you dates, the streets, events that happened in his 30s, 20s. Oh Jesus, he's such a lovely storyteller that there's no dull moment with him. So we just loved him. But no, we are not in a relationship with him and his children. I'd have to stop. So my own is every parent, most especially fathers, be intentional in the life of your children. Don't look at the bad side of your wife. And you as a wife, don't look at the bad side of your husband to affect your relationship between you and your children. And start early, not when they are adults. You now want to form one relationship when you didn't start when they were small. While they were growing up, you were harsh, too strict. Well, we are not saying you should become a fool to your children. Be loving but firm. Be loving but firm. These kids, you can't deceive them. They know the difference between originality and fake. I'm talking from experience because I saw it. My father was very intentional. So there was no fake in his relationship with us. When it's time for discipline, my father was strict. But his love was so much. So there was less room for discipline. His love was so much that we didn't want to do anything that would offend him. We didn't want to do anything that would break his heart. All we wanted was to do things that would make him happy. We love seeing him happy. It breaks our hearts to see my daddy angry. And nobody wants to be that person that makes him angry or make him sad. So what am I saying? Please, please be intentional in your children's and start when they are babies. Don't start when they are old. Be intentional. Feed your children, feed them, attend their programs in school. Some parents, some fathers don't attend their children's program. Only the mothers. They cannot pick a picture and say, oh, hey, this was when I did my graduation in JS1. See my daddy. This was when I did my graduation in primary 1. This is my father. Hey, see daddy and mommy. Oh, see daddy. No, some till they die, they don't have a picture, no memory to show that you were ever involved in one activity or the other. Please, create time for your children. You can't do it 100%, but the little one you do, oh, make it count. Make it count. The little one you do, make it count. It's not the amount of bicycle or whatever you buy for these children. That emotional connection supersedes. That doesn't mean you shouldn't provide other basic things. So I beg, provide. Balance it. The kids will see when you are struggling and you still love them. It will be easy for them to have that human feelings for you and want to manage with you. Yes. You bring children with empathy. Children that will have empathy, I said, no, if daddy has, he will give me. Now that daddy doesn't have, well, let me let him rest. That was who my father was. I told you earlier on that when he will bring people to the remaining money that he's supposed to pay for 3 people that will make, that would, what's it called, that will pound that cassava, my father will share it for us. Tell me, how would you not want to go and help him? My father will not use it for free. Most especially if money is at, even when money is not attached, he will still want to make you happy. That is what intentional fathers do. So please, please, let's not leave parenting for mothers alone. Let's have a balance. Let's have a balance. Even I know of a man, he is separated from his wife. But because he had always been involved in the, see, it's always easy for children to love their mother. That natural setting is already there. So it's like a default. It's in extreme cases you see children having resentment to their mothers. Children naturally tilt more to their mother because of their soft nature. Yes. So, but you as a father that takes it upon yourself to be an intentional father in their life, oh, that's a win-win for you. I'm telling you, a win-win for you. And not just only you, you are raising matured, empathic, how do they speak the grammar? Loving and better human being. I'm telling you the truth. So I know the man that I told you earlier on that is divorced from his wife. But because he has been an intentional father from the onset, right from the hospital as the babies are coming out, he's the one carrying them. He takes them to school. He's involved. He's even more in their pictures than what? Than the wife. And when they finally separated, they come together for events, maybe their children's birthday or whatever. They come together for events. You will see that because the father was intentional, co-parenting was easy. They were not enemies. Their father was not tarnishing the image of their mother. Are you seeing it? And when the children come over for a weekend, because they share custody, the children, the mother too, was not tarnishing the image of their father. So they are able to raise balanced adults, even though they are not together. Yes, those kids can even grow up better. They will grow up better than couples that are together but fighting every day. Couples that are together but hate each other. There's no love between the children. The children are one-sided. Maybe they're on the side of their mother or they're on the side of their father. Just because their father is intentional, they're able to co-parent. You see them in pictures of events concerning their children. That is what intentionality does to a beautiful child. So please, it's an appeal. All marriages may not work because we are living in the last days. We are living in troubled times. The attack on marriage is not ordinary, it's spiritual. Let me tell you the truth. It's not ordinary. The forces against marriage is not normal. Marriage is a beautiful thing instituted by God Almighty. But now, I'm telling you that the high rate of men and women that don't want to get married is increasing every day. Why? Because of all the negative reports. The positive ones are not selling. Just because of the negative reports. The positive ones are not selling. A lot of women now want to just have children, but no man in their life. They want to be single mothers because of they have seen what so many women have suffered. Even the so-called religious marriages are even worse. We have cases. It's so rampant. And social media has really exposed the challenges in marriages. The abuse men face, the abuses women face. But the abuse is more on the side of the women. Yes, men are also suffering theirs, but the abuse is more on the side of. The rate at which women are being killed in relationships, in marriages, is so alarming. The negative report coming from marriages is so scary. People are wedding every Saturday. Thousands are running out of it. But there are still beautiful marriages. They say good things don't sell. It's negative, most especially in this world that we find ourselves. It's negative news that sell. Negative news that sell. There are beautiful marriages there, out there. And we keep hearing men on social media saying, the women of these days are no longer like our mothers. And I sit and ask, how was our mothers? Because I grew up seeing my mother as a struggling, independent woman. She was not waiting for my husband, for my father, even though my father was the one footing the whole bill to an extent. My mother was very hardworking, and I never saw my father pull or try to frustrate my mother's effort to belittle her. Or I've never seen my father wanting my mother to shrink herself. I didn't see that. So it's making me not to take certain things, even in my marriage. Because I didn't see my father maltreat my mother. My mother didn't have to shrink herself to make my father happy. My mother don't have to suffer, cook, do everything to please my father. We had cousins and the rest that came to help us. So my mother had time to face her challenges, recover, and bounce back. My mother had that time to go to work because she had a reliable husband at home running, taking care of her kids. And when the table later turned that my father now had to be away because of work, my mother stepped in. And thank God she had recovered. So you can see the balance there. You can see it. So I grew up to meet a woman is supposed to serve her husband. You see them quoting the what's it called? Proverbs 31. What's the name again? The duty wife, the dutiful wife. What's it called? I've forgotten the name. That just escaped me. It's down here, but it's in my subconsciousness, but I can't get it. All right, the dutiful wife. They always quote Psalm. So if you take your time to read that Proverbs chapter 1, you hear of slaves, servants. Is there anybody that will have servants or slave to help you run around that will not have time to take care of herself? It's those slaves that you send to the market. They'll be the one to wash your clothes. You'll be doing your soft life. Your own is to be giving instruction. She was able to succeed because she had slaves and the rest to take care of herself. And because she could take care of herself, she was mentally stable. Her husband too could share in her glory. There's a portion that says the husband is being respected at the gate because the woman is mentally stable. I mentioned earlier on that being a full-time housewife is mentally draining. A lot of women fall into depression in that period. You are a full-time housewife, you don't have a help, your husband is not financially buoyant, you are the only one running up and down, you will go to the market, you will cook, you will wash, all in the name to prove that you are a wife material. You will lose it. You will lose it. You will not be mentally stable. You will not be happy. You'll be frustrated. You'll be drained. I've tasted both worlds and it's not the best. That's why every woman, get your money, have money, especially except if you are married to a billionaire, a rich man that is comfortable to take care of you very well. Yes, every woman likes soft life. Me, I like soft life if I had it, if I had the opportunity. Nobody wants to slave. It is only when the man cannot meet up. And now, okay, you cannot meet up, but instead of you to humble, let you and your wife collaborate and do what? Run the home. You still want to say you are a traditional man. If they don't pound if they don't pound with mortar, you will not eat. If they don't, I didn't see my father slave my mother. And these are old people that married in the 60s. I didn't see it for one day. I don't know if they did it when they were much younger, but I've never heard, because I'm the sixth child. So I have first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Then I am the sixth. So I don't know if and I know my mom, she would have said it. The only time my mom was always complaining was that my uncle, which is my father's younger brother, was always stressing my father, that my father, because I had two elder sisters first before a boy followed. So my elder sister, then in the 60s, now you remember, now, they were telling my father that it's a waste of money or resources to train a daughter. She will end up being married. So you have just daughters, and yes. I think that was the only thing that I could hear my mom complain about. And my father stood her ground. And maybe my father made some mistakes there, which I don't know. But I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, that I grew up as a human being to know that this is my father, this is my mother. My father has been an angel. I'm not ruling it out. And whatever error he must have committed was not from a place of resentment for my mom. He didn't know. And I believe immediately he knew, he had retraced his step. He retraced his step. Because from my second sister, our second born, my mother's second child, which is a girl, right down. Because our first child, I remember then I don't know, maybe my father relaxed, because I could remember that my mom had to send my senior sister back to the village to a boarding school. But and my sister never gave report that my father didn't care. My father was always there. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm not trying to paint my father as a total angel that did not have flaws. He sure did have flaws. He wasn't a rich man. Where he couldn't meet up, he made up with his love and his intentionality. My father was a great advisor. So men, please don't allow your hatred or resentment for your partner affect your relationship with your children. No, they'll be your backbone. If you like, born 10, born 100. If you're not emotionally committed, when it's old age, you'll be left there. We women, we are good at celebrating, making, and shining with the success of our children. It's easier for us to shine. It's easier to see it. Yeah, it's because a woman will stand and dance. You can give a woman 50,000 naira. You see her dancing, celebrating. Oh, neighbors, we should come and thank God for me. But you can give a man and he will just quietly collect it. So women tend to be more favored when it comes to care from their father. But you can grab that now by being an intentional father right from the onset. Be involved in your family, your children. Love them. Love them. Be in their life. Don't show favoritism. Don't prefer one child over the other. Just because of their mother is not meeting up, don't use it to lash out at the kids or call them that you are just like your mother. See, words, once they fall out of your mouth, you can't get it back again. You can't get it back. So you must be very careful. Filter every word that comes out of your mouth. Be very intentional what falls out of your mouth. Because if it comes back, comes out, most especially to children, it sinks and remains there. That is what will stick to their brain. Even when you are talking, they're just using it. And once they get to know again that you're a very annoying human being, you have even made it worse. So please, you will not be young forever. Hey. As I am, I can remember certain things that happened for when I was about 3-4 years. I can still vividly remember. If I thought age 20 is far. I thought age 30 is far. I thought age 40 is still far. Now I'm in my 40s, my mid-40s, entering my late 40s. It's not far again, no. I'm closer to getting close to 50 than my mid-40s. So you can imagine that. Before you know, 60, 70. That's to tell you there is no time again. Don't be deceived with the present situation you are. And there's one thing I want to tell you, our dear men. You won't be in charge forever. If you are the Odogu, the proud and pompous one, time and age will bring you down at a particular time. Except you want to continue to deceive yourself to your grave. A time will come, you won't be in charge again. Those kids you belittled, those kids you trashed on, those kids you manipulated will become in charge and their mother. And you know that most men prefer to marry younger women. So there is more tendency that the woman will be stronger when you are weak. So you have to be careful how you play your card. I'm telling you. You have to be careful how you play your card. You cannot be in your 40s and you're married to a woman in her 20s and you're maltreating her and her children, forgetting that when you will be 60, she will be approaching 40. Forgetting that when you will be 80, she'll be approaching 60 and she's to be very strong. That's why you find out that most men suffer more. They are more lonely because they prefer younger women, forgetting that that younger woman will not remain like that forever. Forgetting that even you will not remain like that forever. Old age doesn't take time to come. It surprises me. I still wonder that, Jesus, it's only when I see my kids that gladdens my heart that, okay, yes, there's no way I'm at this age and at least my kids are grown and I'm happy to see that. Yes, ordinarily, nobody wants to age. But life has to go on. Aging is a normal process and it comes with its challenges. So please, it's not all cases, so my family will be there. Those same children, I can remember. Time will not fail me to go into this. Maybe subsequent life, I will talk about it. My subsequent life, I will talk about it. So it's been a great pleasure. I'm so happy that this life is a huge success. I didn't believe I would be able to stay for 1 hour, almost 1 hour, 40 minutes to do this live. Oh, it's a great milestone. I'm so proud of myself. And thank you all those of you that tuned in and want to call it a day so I can try to catch sleep. It's almost 4 a.m. in the morning. It's almost 4 a.m. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I am very, very grateful. See you in the next life. Bye. Top fan. All right. Thank you. Okay, I think it's back. So, wisdom. I will be leaving now. So thank you so much. Thank you for all your time. Thank you for coming around. Yes, you have left. Thank you. All right. Yes, see you for.